Brad. What do you think we're going to ask first today?
If I had to stab at it, it'd be one injury and probably the grand final.
Let's start with the grand final.
Start with the grand final?
Yeah. How are you feeling about it this far on?
This far? Haven't had a lot of time to reflect on it, but it's a very successful year by the club and what we're able to achieve as a group. Yeah, disappointing I wasn't there, but really proud of what we were able to achieve last year.
Do you find yourself trying to remind people, or each teammates about the want to go back to back?
Oh yeah, there's a bit of banter around the club, but I'm one of 25 blokes on the list at the moment that haven't experienced the premiership. So it's not only myself, but there's 25 other players in the same boat, and the training standards so far has been really high, and the boys come back in good shape. So we're not going to approach this year any differently from probably the past 4 or 5 years. So yeah, the hunger's there from everyone.
How did you handle the celebrations amongst the group? Did you get involved as much as everyone? Or
Yeah, I was amongst it. Yeah, I tried to get in and around the boys. No, it's one of those things. It's a unique situation, playing 22 or 23 games throughout the year and missing out in the last couple. I still felt part of the group, even though I wasn't, out in the field for the prelim and the grand final. I sat in the coach's box for the prelim, and I was around the group for those 2 games, and really felt a part of it. So, the celebrations are good celebrations, and yeah, I wasn't missing out on it.
Does it add to your hunger in this pre-season when you're rocking up and it's probably still a pretty fresh memory?
Not really. I try to approach every year the same, and my hunger's always there. Whether we don't win a game or we you go undefeated, I think the hunger's always the same, and you got to be really consistent with what you do, your process, and nothing will change for me. Leading into this year, and first and foremost is getting the hamstring right, which I've done a fair bit of work on it, and it's feeling pretty strong at the moment. So now it's just getting the training minutes in and getting the confidence in my body, and setting myself up for a good year.
When you did the injury and the team progressed through the finals, was there someone at the club in particular, or even all the injured boys, got together and really got through that period of success as you weren't playing?
Yeah, I'd probably say Nick Nat and Andrew Gaff are probably players that are lent on more than others, because we're in similar boats, not being able to be out there. So we did share a fair bit of dialogue in those few weeks, but it was all positive energy, when you're in the club, because it's a pretty special time for the club and the state to one, being a prelim and grand final. So we tried to be as positive as we can, and yeah, really wrapped with how the boys performed on grand final day.
And what was it feeling like in the rooms after they won? You were obviously, everyone's going nuts. Was it a good feeling, or how was that feeling for you being in the rooms?
Yeah, great feeling. Yeah, just an experience, because we've been there in 2015 and lost one, and the emotion, just how much football means to all the West Coast players, the family, the staff, and the wider state. You sort of forget how big this football club is, and to see a lot of smiles on the public, and when we come back to Perth, the support and the players are still getting the pats on the back at the moment. It's something pretty special to be a part of.
Is that hard not to be a part of, like, part of the 22 and players are getting pats on the back? You see it all over town. Is it hard that you weren't actually part of that 22?
Oh, well, ideally, yeah, you'd want to be part of the 22. I'm not shying away from that, but I had a pretty good run up to that stage, 95 straight, I think it was in the end. Yeah, ideally it would have been nice to to play in the flag, but at the end of the day, I'm just happy because it's a football club, not just the 22 that played. It's the whole playing list, it's the supporters, it's the volunteers, everyone that is involved in the footy club. I think it was sort of successful for them.
What do you think the chances are of the team going back to back?
The competition's set up to not allow that to happen. We just want to, we say at every press conference, I think every player comes in, we want to try and improve from last year, and the competition, it's getting stronger and stronger, and the gap between the top and the bottom is closing up. But yeah, we're confident with our group and the younger players coming through, and we've got a really strong leaders in the footy club. So yeah, we're confident that we'll put ourselves in a position to have a good year. But you know, just make sure you got to tick all the boxes first to, you know, even think about that sort of back-to-back stuff. That's a long way down the track. So at the moment, it's just, you know, getting the minutes in the pre-season, and then everything will snowball from there.
Feels like to talk about, got to move on as quick as possible. Got to focus on next year. I think you got a function with some sponsors or corporates or something tomorrow night to celebrate the flag. Do you go to that, or does everyone go?
Yeah, it's the first I've heard of that. Okay. No, I think the few of the boys are going to try and get a bit of money. A few tight asses in the team.
Is that considered like the last, like this is the end and then we move on? Is that, because obviously you've got to do things for people to put money in?
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be, going forward, there'll be a few events that players will have to speak at, etc. But in terms of the footy club and our playing group, what we talk about, you know, we're parked 2018, acknowledged that what we did was great, but it's a new year. It's a tough competition, and you got to be hungry again to win games, and let alone, you know, go all the way. So the boys aren't distracted. Yeah, there's going to be a few things pop up, which, you know, they're acknowledged, but you know, the 2018 is sort of, it is parked. It's new year now, new group, got 8 new players, got a couple of senior recruits in, so you know, the boys are refreshed and eager to go again.
Everyone talks about the hunger of you guys that missed out to drive the squad on this season, but you look at someone like Dove coming back in the shape that he's in. What does that do for you, like looking at him coming back? How impressed are you with the way he's come back this pre-season?
Yeah, really impressed with Gov. Yeah, he's you know, he just, the way he lopes around the track, he's it's a credit to him and what he's done in the off-season. I think not only him, but the whole playing group. I think we came back and I think got 15 or 16 players hit PBs in all the time trials, and it just really shows you the maturity of the group. And we've played together for a while now, and then you got players that weren't in the 22 last year that really putting their hand up to break into the 22, because it is going to be a tough 22 to break into. And you know, seeing a couple of young kids, you know, in particular Jakey Wardham and Jared Brander and Oscar Allen, you know, putting their hand up, you know, it does motivate the senior players. And yeah, today it's probably the strongest, you know, I've seen the list.
There's a lot of talk last year about not riding the highs and lows. So do you think that helps, having that mature group? You know, you've had the success now, but you're not going to ride that high for too long. Do you think that helps with the senior guys?
Yeah, we got to be level-headed. You know, footy's a game. I think all sports, you know, if you ride the emotion, you know, 1 week you're up, 1 week down, the more consistent you are, you tend to get the better results. And that's really been driven from the top down, starting with our, you know, the board, and then through Simo and our skipper with Shannon Hearn really preaches those messages. And that really did go a long way to us, you know, moving through last year, because we did have, I guess, a few doubters at the start of the year, but we kept a consistent message and really simplified players' roles and became a role-driven team. And I think the better preparation players have and the more ownership they have in their own program and trying to keep it as consistent and process-driven as possible, then it goes to show you that results will come.
Just one on the injury. Can you talk through when you first did it? Could you see where it was going, and what were your emotions when you first did the injury in that 24 hours after?
Yeah, I've never really had a soft tissue injury before. So I sprinted after the ball and sort of got a little shove at the end, which happened to tear the central tendon, which is the tendon which is used when you're running roughly around 75% of your max speed. That's when you sort of call upon that tendon. And initially it was a sharp grab, and I wasn't quite sure if it was a cramp. I was checked up. It's only been 10 minutes into the first quarter, so you know, I'm pretty sure I wasn't a cramp at that stage of the game, and went off and got all the tests done downstairs, which they said that is a low-grade body 1 weeker. So at that particular time, I was questioning my pain threshold. I was like, this is a 1 weeker. Imagine if, you know, you have to do a serious hamstring injury. But, you know, by the way I was walking and how sharp the pain was, I knew that it was pretty severe. And the day after, yeah, it was a 12 to 14 week injury.
How is it now?
Yeah, it's feeling really strong now. Yeah, so it's I'm pretty happy with how the surgery went, and I'm in full training at the moment. So yeah, positive signs at the moment.
When did you start full training?
Well, I came back with the boys on the 1st of December there, but I was on modified training, and post-Christmas I've pretty much completing 100% of what the guys are doing.
It must be good to know that you can start doing. Tendons can be problematic?
Yeah, it can be. There's been a few complications throughout the journey, but it's just good to being out there with the boys again, and enjoying the pre-season grind and the hard work, because that's why we play footy. It is a tough game, football, and you need those sessions you can call upon your mates, and to be able to be in the trenches with them throughout training is something that I love doing.
Any demons in the head still from it, or are you pretty confident that you can stretch out and do things?
Yeah, well, I've been matching up on Jack Darlin a fair bit of training, and he moves pretty well, and just been able to keep up with him. So yeah, I'm safe to say that there's no demons there now.
So you'll be right for round 1, you think?
Yeah, I'll be right to go on first of all the pre-season games, and then progress from there. But round 1 definitely on the cards.